Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. This morning, we're here to receive House Bill number 1384. At this time, we'll do roll call, please. Okay, clerk, can close the roll. Delegate Price.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members. House Bill number 1384 is in front of us. It deals with funding for a few items, but the second article deals with the April 21st special election. And so I would love for Ms. Ann Oman to talk some of the numbers, and then I will pick up at Article 2.
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the substitute.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
And Mr. Chairman, the substitute simply changes some of the numbers in the title of referenced code sections.
Thank you. Ms. Oman.
As Delegate Price indicated, the only change from the bill that is available online is in the title, so all of the content of the bill itself is the same for those that do not have that yet, since it is, was just now adopted. Delegate Price had asked that I walk through the budgetary sections of the bill. So starting on lines 20 to 46, this amends item 5 of the budget related to the Division of Legislative Automated Services and provides them an increase of $100,000 to cover costs associated with doing maps for redistricting. Then the next section begins on line 47 through line 73. Similarly, this provides $100,000 to the Division of Legislative Services for the work that they will have to do in preparing maps for the proposed redistricting. And then lines 74 to 82 add $5 million in additional funding to the Department of Elections. The appropriation of that amount is set out on line 76, and the language that follows stipulates that this could be used for voter education, administrative costs of the department, and to provide grant funding to localities to defray the cost of absentee voting in person. And I think Delegate Price will move in beginning on line 83, which are additional enactments in Part 5 of the budget. It adds 3 new enactments, and she can walk through that.
Yes, and I just want to point out, Mr. Chairman, that on line 105, because I received a question, it's just moving over our usual practice of having satellite voting sites during a regular election, just making sure that people understand that that should be applicable to this April 21st special election. So then we go down to lines 118 and on, and that's where it describes how the district shall be drawn for the Virginia's House of Representative districts. And you'll see on line 127 through 136, that should be familiar language from House Joint Resolution 4, just describing that should other states do redistricting mid-decade for any reason other than completing the normal decennial redistricting process, or as ordered by a federal court, then it will trigger for us to be able to modify one or more congressional districts. And so if you come down, this is some of the enabling language that is needed. As we usually have House Joint Resolutions for proposed constitutional amendments, we always have enabling language with that. Some of this is part of that. And so then if you come down to line 156 to 158, that is the question as it will be posted on the ballots for early voting and April 21st. and then walking down to some of the enactments. So enactment 15 would repeal the code section 30-13 in accordance with page 60 of the Code Commission report, for which they voted twice in a bipartisan manner to adopt the recommendation to delete that code section. And then because of that, there is a retroactive start to that to 1971. Then it gives some expiration dates, and then some of the parts that don't expire. And again, this is a temporary authorization for us to modify those districts, and then we would go back to the regular process after the 2030 census. Thank you. Sorry. And then on line 190, it just lets us know that all of this is contingent upon the voters voting in the majority of yes for the proposed constitutional amendment, and nothing shall change prior to that.
Thank you, Delegate Price. Committee, any questions or comments at this time? Delegate Austin.
Mr. Chairman, thank you, and thank you for the explanation of the bill. It's quite a lot to absorb so quickly here. You know, the voters of Virginia adopted a commission to draw the boundaries within the Commonwealth, and I feel like the boundaries fairly represent now the voters of Virginia. You know, we have congressional seats now are 6 Democrat, 5 Republican, and this appropriation to hold a special election, I think, is a reaction, and I regret that, but I can't go along with this appropriation because I understand the consequences associated, and they're fairly detrimental to the citizens of the Commonwealth and fair representation throughout. So,
Mr. Chairman, if I may respond.
Just 1 second, Delegate Price. I want to make sure that Delegate Austin has completed his comments before you respond, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I've finished. Thank you.
I do apologize. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just would respond that this is actually the most fair process that we can take in order to protect Virginians' votes because of what is happening in other states. If we were to not act, or at least give the voters the opportunity to choose to act, then we would be allowing for Texas, Florida, maybe Florida, and North Carolina to diminish the power of our Virginians' vote. And so I strongly believe one person, one vote, and that is not where we are, and that is a change from when the voters voted for the Redistricting Commission. And a reminder that we are not abolishing the commission, we are just stepping in before their work in 2031.
Mr. Chairman, follow up, please.
Delegate Austin.
Make sure I understand. So you're saying that we will go back to the Redistricting Commission?
Yes, sir.
And at what point in time will we do that, Delegate? I'm sorry.
Yes, that would be after the 2030 census. So the redistricting that usually happens on a decennial basis, that would happen in 2031, because it's usually the redistricting based off what's done in the even number years.
So this is an interim action that you're asking for?
Yes, I'm asking for the interim, Mr. Chairman.
Delegate Price.
I'm so sorry. I'm asking for an interim action because others have done detrimental interim actions in other states that are threatening the country's democracy.
Mr. Chairman, follow up, please.
Delegate Austin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Delegate, I appreciate the explanation. You've done a very good job with that. But I regret to say it's not changed my mind. This is a year that we have short revenues in the Commonwealth. We had a lot of need for money, and this is an expensive process, and I understand that. You know, I go back to my point of fair representation. I really think the people of Virginia have fair representation. You know, we had 49-51 in the House. We had 20-19 in the Senate. We had 5 and 6 on intercongressional seats. I understand the reaction, but I must say I don't agree, and I respectfully disagree. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Delegate Price.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I would say that I am enjoying meeting my new colleagues in a 64 majority. And so there are some things that have changed in Virginia. And we have heard overwhelming support that from people that voted for the Redistricting Commission, that because of the actions of others, unfortunately, we are here at this position. And it's not what we wanted, but where we need to be.
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate Austin.
If I may react, Mr. Chairman, I just like to say, you know, we're not Washington, we're Virginia, and I regret to say that, but I think, you know, we've got to lead by example. We don't need to be reactive and follow actions of others, but I understand your position, don't get me wrong, but I just felt like I need to say that, and I think we do lead. I think our legislature represents itself very well, and our governor, and so I regret this action. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Any other comments from the committee? Delegate Carr.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we report House Bill 1384 with the substitute.
It's been moved and seconded that we report House Bill 1384 as substituted. Members, please cast your vote. Okay, that bill reports 15-7. Members of the committee, thank you for responding on such short notice. We appreciate it very much. We stand adjourned.